morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching Janata Television and this is English Bulletin with me, Yutsa Bhattrai. The top stories first. Province 5 finalizes Dang as its capital after 32 months. Majority of MPs vote for Lumbini as its new name. Coronavirus claims 9 more lives across the country. Most of the victims were from Kathmandu Valley. Deadline for Kathmandu-Tarai fast track extended by 3 years. House panel seeks clarification from government. COVID-19 vaccine may be ready by year end. WHO says 9 experimental vaccines are in the pipeline. And US Open champ Dominic Thiem crashes out of French Open. Suffers a 5-set defeat to Argentine Diego Schwartzman. And now the news in detail. Province 5 has finalized its capital in almost 32 months after the formation of the provincial government. The Provincial Assembly yesterday fixed the capital amidst protest and demonstrations. A report.
Majority of parliamentarians voted for Dang Deoghuri as the capital of the province and Lumbini as its name. Altogether, 69 MPs voted in favor of Dang while 13 voted against it. The main opposition party, Nepali Congress, was against Dang as the capital and voted against the decision. Out of 19 MPs of Congress, 5, however, voted in favor of Dang against the party's whip. The ruling Nepal Communist Party has 61 lawmakers in the Provincial Assembly. Out of the total 89 lawmakers, 82 had cast their votes while the remaining 7 abstained from voting. Similarly, 79 MPs voted in favor of Lumbini as the name of the province while 4 voted against it. The permanent capital of the province fixed yesterday falls in Rapti rural municipality of Dang district and is 100 kilometers west of Butwal, the temporary capital. Meanwhile, NC leader Birendra Kanodia said that the opposition party will take action against its leaders who voted against the party's whip. 2 leaders of Janata Samajwadi Party had boycotted the voting process. Meanwhile, more than 2,300 supporters of the ruling NCP associated with 35 organizations based in Butwal resigned en masse after Dang was selected as the provincial capital.
Meanwhile, coronavirus has claimed 9 lives across the country, the government confirmed yesterday. According to the Health Ministry, the victims include 4 women and 5 men. 5 of the victims were from Kathmandu Valley, including 4 from Lalitpur. Other victims were from Terathum, Sunsari, Chitwan and Nawalpur. The total death toll from coronavirus in the country has climbed to 563. Meanwhile, health authorities confirmed 1,551 new cases of coronavirus across the country during the latest round of tests. As of today, the total number of infection in the country has reached 90,814. Till date, 67,542 people have recovered from the disease in Nepal, claimed government official. The active number cases of coronavirus across the country stands at 22,709 according to the spokesperson of Health Ministry, Dr. Jageshwar Gautam. The Secretariat meeting of the ruling Nepal Communist Party yesterday discussed upon matters of political and constitutional appointments. NCP leaders had expressed dissatisfaction after Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli appointed ambassadors to different countries single-handedly without consulting the party secretariat. Although the leaders accused Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli of appointing ambassadors in 3 countries unilaterally, only a special discussion regarding the issue was raised in the meeting, informed NCP spokesperson Narayan Kaji Shrestha. A separate time slot has been allocated to discuss how party secretariat can suggest the government take decisions in such matter, Shrestha further said. Spokesperson Shrestha also stated that no talks were held about reshuffling the cabinet. Chairman Dua Oli and Dahal are yet to complete their homework regarding the matter. Today's meeting focused on strengthening the party on policy level, a spokesperson Shrestha said yesterday while talking to the press. The meeting has also requested Dr. Govinda Kesi to end his hunger strike. Dr. Kesi has been on his 19th hunger strike starting September 14 last month, demanding reforms in medical sector. Most of his demands have been met by the government and the remaining ones will be met soon. Therefore, the Secretariat meeting has requested Dr. Kesi to end hunger strike, spokesperson Shrestha informed. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. We continue with other national news. The Nepalese Army has maintained that a dispute in Kokana during the construction of the Kathmandu-Tarai fast track surfaced because of the failure in coordination between government mechanisms. The Nepalese Army gave such clarification to a parliamentary committee during a meeting yesterday. The Army has further claimed that issues such as Outer Ring Road and smart city construction that do not concern the fast track in any manner have been dragged into the dispute. A report.
The Nepalese Army has alleged the incompetence among government agencies for the Kokana dispute. Speaking at the meeting of the Development and Technology Committee yesterday, Lieutenant General Parshuram Sharma informed that the failure of government bodies to correspond on interlinked projects such as construction of the Outer Ring Road and Smart City played a vital role in the Kokana dispute. The locals had requested the army to construct the highway without destroying their lands and heritage sites, and therefore the army had initiated the construction of 2 additional bridges, Sharma added. Army had addressed the preliminary land dispute of Kokana and settled the matter. However, the issue of Outer Ring Road and Smart City surfaced later and they have nothing to do with the fast track, said Sharma.
यो फास्ट ट्र्याक सडकको कुरा हुना साथ त्यहाँको मान्छेहरूले हाम्रो जग्गा चाहिँ नि नजाओस् बीचबाट भन्ने कुरा राख्नुभयो। हामीले दुईटा पुल भन्या 10-15 करोडको कुरा आउँछ।
The fast track will be completed by 2030 if everything runs smoothly, informed Project Chief Dr. Vikas Pokhrel.
In other news, a House committee has sought clarification from the government of extending the deadline of the construction of the Kathmandu-Tarai fast track to the government. The Development and the Technology Committee of the Lower House has directed the Nepal government, Office of the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers to present the basis and the reason for a single extension of 3 years on the construction of the Kathmandu-Tarai fast-track road. The committee has also directed Prime Minister and Cabinet to study the financial capabilities before taking up on national pride projects. The committee has also directed the project to make sure the people's wish of the completion of the project in time is also respected. The committee has also directed all the stakeholders involved in the construction of the project to submit a quarterly report of the work progress while also submitting a potential yearly plan for the coming year to the committee. And now the news from economic front. It has been found that the expiry dates on the packaged goods sold in the market are wiped clean and re-entered by the sellers. In a market inspection conducted on Monday morning around the Kalimati area, the problem was noticed by the monitoring team. More than a dozen different edible products had their expiry dates wiped out by hand. In the Shivajyoti Patanjali Ayurveda Service Centre, located next to the police post in Kalimati, products belonging to Byanjan brand were seen to be tampered with as their expiry dates had been wiped out. Similarly, other products like tomato sauce at Ayusha Khadya store was also sold after its expiry dates were wiped out. The government has started extensive market monitoring after it was found that many edible products were being sold in the market without an expiry date. We'll be taking a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international and sports news. Welcome back, and now the international news. The World Health Organization has said that a vaccine against COVID-19 may be ready by the end of this year. According to Reuters, WHO Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus had called for solidarity and political commitment by all leaders to ensure equal distribution of vaccines when they become available. Tedros told the WHO's executive board that they are hopeful that the vaccine may be available by the year end. 9 experimental vaccines are in the pipeline of WHO's COVAX Global Vaccine Facility that aims to distribute 2 billion doses by the end of 2021. The 2-day board meeting, which examined the global response to the pandemic, heard calls from countries including Germany, Britain and Australia for reforms to strengthening the UN agency. US President Donald Trump has strongly criticized the WHO's role in the crisis, accusing it of being too close to China. The Trump administration also accused the WHO of not doing enough to question Beijing's actions late last year when the virus first emerged in Wuhan. Tedros has dismissed the suggestions and said his agency has kept the world informed. 3 scientists who unraveled some of the deep mysteries of black hole have won the 2020 Nobel Prize in Physics. Black holes are the awe-inspiring pockets of the universe where space and time cease to exist. Britain's Roger Penrose, professor at the University of Oxford, won half the prize of $1.1 million for his proof that black holes are a direct consequence of Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity. German Rainer Genzel of the Max Planck Institute and University of California and Andrea Ghez at the University of California shared the other half for discovering that an invisible and extremely heavy object governs the orbits of the stars at the center of our galaxy. Ghez, who is the only 4th woman to be awarded the physics prize, she hoped it would inspire others to enter the field. Often other women to win a Nobel Prize in Physics are Marie Curie in 1903, Maria Mayer in 1963 and Donna Strickland in 2018. The number of people hit by seasonal flooding in the East Africa has increased more than 5 times in 4 years, BBC reported, citing the UN figures. Nearly 6 million people have been affected this year, with 1.5 million of them forced from their homes. Parts of the region are recording the heaviest rains in the century. In 2019, a big temperature difference between the east and the west side of the Indian Ocean was blamed for heavy rainfall. The data gathered by the UN's Office for Coordination of the Humanitarian Affairs paints a worrying picture, reports the BBC. The number of people affected by flooding in East Africa has gone from 1.1 million in 2016 to 4 million in 2019 to close to 6 million so far this year. This is before the short rains, which normally peak in November and hit most countries in the region. In Sudan, one of the worst affected countries, 860,000 people have had their homes destroyed or damaged and more than 120 have died, the UN said, quoting government figures. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. US Open champion Dominic Thiem crashes out of the French Open tournament after a draining 5-set defeat to Argentine Diego Schwartzman. Austrian team beat French Hugo Gaston in the last round in another grueling 5-set encounter and simply ran out of energy in against the Argentine. He lost the match 7-6, 5-7, 6-7, 7-6, 6-2 with the US Open champion out of the tournament. Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic both are eyeing the title. Nadal defeated Italian Jannik Sinner by a 3-score line of 7-6, 6-4, 6-1 to reach the French Open semi-final, where he will play against Diego Schwartzman. In the women's side, Elena Svitolina suffered a shock defeat at the hands of world number 131 Nadia Podoroska in a straight set of 6-2, 6-4. Argentine Podoroska will now play in the semi-final of a major Grand Slam for the first time in her career. Mumbai Indians maintained their grasp of the top of the Indian Premier League table as they beat Rajasthan Royals by 57 runs. The match was played at the Sheikh Zayed Stadium, one of the two venues being used for this year's IPL tournament. Mumbai Indians had earlier won the toss and decided to bat first and got off to a good start. Openers Quinton de Kock and Rohit Sharma provided their team a strong start and scored 23 and 35 respectively. However, the star of the Mumbai side was Surya Kumar Yadav, who scored an unbeaten 79 from 47 balls and helped his team reach a strong total of 193 runs. In reply, the Royals couldn't get a partnership going, with only Josh Butler salvaging some pride for the Royals. He scored 70 off 44 balls. The Man of the Match award was grasped by Surya Kumar Yadav for the blistering 79 runs today. Today, Kolkata Knight Riders will face off against Chennai Super Kings. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. Province 5 finalizes Dang its capital after 32 months. Majority of MPs vote for Lumbini as its new name. Coronavirus claims 9 more lives across the country. Most of the victims reported from Kathmandu Valley. Deadline for Kathmandu Tarai fast track extended by 3 years. House panel seeks clarification from the government. COVID-19 vaccine may be ready by year end. WHO says 9 experimental vaccines are in the pipeline. And US Open champ Dominic Thiem crashes out of the French Open, suffers a 5-set defeat to Argentine Diego Schwartzman. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.